looky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
It's Pat and JT podcast. It's Pat and JT on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And then also growing in popularity, 4 or 5 people have texted us now at that same number we use for voicemail, 402-403-9478. So you can text us 24/7. We get back to you. So thank you for the texts.
Absolutely appreciate that. And also thank you to Kugler Vision, supporter of our podcast, and encourage you as well. If you've been thinking about getting rid of the glasses or getting rid of the contacts, Kugler Vision would be the best place to start for information and resources. They are at the top of the pile when it comes to the best of the best when it comes to eye care. You've been telling us when you've scheduled your consultation so you could go in, find out what you could have done. And not everybody's is the same. That's the whole point of the consultation, though.
And let them know you heard it on our podcast, the Pat and JT podcast. When it says what you hear from us, just put Pat and JT podcast. It's easy.
KuglerVision.com procedures, and then you'll see the consult button. One of the first things that I wanted to bring up, and I'd seen this earlier this week, a friend had passed it along, and I wanted to pass it along to you as well. It's more on the serious side of things, and so I thought we'll start there with that today. It's a movie that's out. It's more of a documentary actually, and it's about a former NBA player, Chris Herron, and he's a former professional basketball player, author, also a wellness advocate now. But it's his story of recovery, and it is amazing.
I want to watch it. It's on my watch list, like on the top.
It's called The First Day Film. And it basically chronicles his journey, and it shows how he got started with drugs and how he maintained that connection with the drugs during his professional career. But it's him taking his story on the road. He's talked to over 1 million people nationwide, a lot of them through schools, high school students in particular. That's who he really connects with. And it's interesting because I've seen some of the parts of it, and it's he starts talking. He's got a real thick East Coast accent. Or like Boston kind of accent.
Yeah.
And tough guy, right? And big guy. And he starts talking about, and you can see the looks in their eyes. They're just like glazing over. It's like, okay, you're going to tell us a story. Okay, right, here we go.
Time to tune out.
Right? Mm-hmm. And he starts talking though, and he's relentless. He does not back up. And he's telling his story. But before he starts telling his story, one of the questions he says is, I guarantee you, if I'd asked each one of you to bring the picture of a drug addict with you today, you would have brought a picture of somebody that's in their final days.
Oh, for sure. That's the first thing that pops in your head.
Right?
Yeah.
And he says, what I want to know is, what's the picture look like the first day? Who is that person? Is that the person sitting next to you?
It's good.
Right? Because that's the
really
problem is right there is that first day. Because nobody, it's like, that's when nobody notices. And
the last day when it's too late, people notice.
And that's when people start noticing things. But he is a great storyteller, and just the little bit that I've seen of what he's done and what the documentary is segments of the different addresses he's given at different school systems for communities and just people across the country directly or indirectly involved with whether it's drug recovery or just, like I said, high school students. He said he did his first line of cocaine at 18.
Jeez.
And it took 14 years to stop. And hiding it was a full-time job. But he went from
I can't imagine.
Can you imagine? He went from high school hoops to college hoops to the NBA. He played for the Celtics and he played for the Nuggets. But he said then it went from cocaine to Vicodin to heroin. And by 2006, he was out of basketball, but he was also in deep trouble. And what really was when he hit rock bottom, when he started his way back up, is when he was discovered slumped over in his car. And they according to paramedics, they said that the former point guard was clinically dead for 30 seconds. And it was and they found heroin in his car. And that's what outed him.
Saved his life. Yeah.
Saved his life. Him dying saved his life.
Yeah.
But to hear the story, it's really good. Again, so it's called The First Day Film.
Okay. I have that written. I keep notes all the time on all these things. I have it on like 3 or 4 different sheets because I love stories like that. I love it.
Yeah.
And what a different, unique angle to get into that conversation. Because all kids shut down. My kids shut down when I say, guys, I got to talk to you. Plays over. Because they know it's coming. They just, they brace themselves.
And this is online, firstdayfilm.com. Mm-hmm. You can watch it online. It's free. It's also got the backstory on putting it together, awesome. And it talks to the producers and the director. A couple of like 3 different films I think that are on there, and then the main one is right there and tells the story as well. But the firstdayfilm.com or .org. Oh, gosh, darn it, but it's something like that. But anyway,
whatever.
it's something. So anyway, I just wanted to pass that along because I thought that was kind of interesting. Current stuff in the news: Epstein. You may have heard this in the last few episodes. We really didn't address it, but he was found in his jail cell, injured. They tried to hang himself or something. And he was taken to the hospital. And so now more details are coming out, though. Apparently, he was not in general population.
Oh, he wasn't?
No. But some are saying that he was put into a cell with a known murderer. But others are saying, no, that's not true.
Why.
And then others are saying, well, he was supposed to be 24/7 monitored. But something happened. And then some are saying, oh, is this a failed hit? Or is it a fake? Injuries are now reported not to be that serious, but he got taken to the hospital. And then others are saying that now it's just a nice delay because the trial can't resume till July 31st. Yeah. So
I don't know why you, in that situation, why you wouldn't just
solitary,
just get it over with, right? Well, yeah. I mean, not only get it over with, like kill yourself. I mean, first of all, from the jail's perspective, solitary, pattern, whatever. But on the other side, why keep delaying it, man? Just get it. Whatever it's going to happen, let it go.
He's in a pickle because he knows names.
Yeah,
and a lot of people know that he knows names, and so yeah, there's probably a lot of people that are a little more than nervous. And,
I can imagine.
We're probably a little more than hopeful when they heard that he tried to
like what? He did what?
Who? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that whole thing, this is going to play out, and I have a feeling it's going to be...
Dirtbags like him don't last long inside.
Yeah, see, that's just it. And we've seen that happen time and again, that they do make it through the trial. And in his case, it's even worse because he knows so many names. And he's connected to so many people, whether or not all those names are dirty, but they're still connected.
There's probably a long line of people that want to see him not be around anymore.
Right. And there's
take those secrets to the grave.
More than a few, too, that are just like, oh, God, I wish I didn't have pictures with this guy.
Yeah.
And they probably, maybe didn't even know him that well, but there's just a connection.
Yeah.
And a
dirty connection. Gross.
Yes. Let's see here. Good news. Today's, as this episode drops, Friday, July 26th, Orange is the New Black final season dropped.
I've missed the last couple seasons. I know. It's such a great show. I just haven't kept up. This too much. I got this documentary to watch now. Everything gets bumped in front of it, man.
Pat and his list.
My list of
your to-do list. How many times do you reorganize your
every day? Every day I take from the day before the stuff I didn't do, put it on my new list.
Yeah.
And then I eventually get to the stuff. I prioritize it.
Do you have like a goal of how many things to get done each day, or do you try to prioritize them? Like, let me grab these 3 or 4 really easy things and get rid of them so I can get them off the list, and then, or do you just in the order they got written down?
No, the most important, the stuff that
you do have an order.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not just in the order they got written down.
No.
Okay, so you're trying knocking them off.
Trying.
Yeah. Are you just adding pages?
I just add pages. I'm trying. Then I add notes, and then I add lines and things, and then it becomes a disaster. And by the end of the day, it's like, whatever.
Rewrite.
Total rewrite.
Just need to get you. Is it easier for you list-wise? For me, if I write something down,
yes,
I will remember it much better. I'm not guaranteeing I'll remember it. There's a better chance.
I've tried the online stuff, like the workflow kind of things, and for some reason, paper's better for me for lists.
Yeah.
But then, like on my Apple Notes thing, I have a note like once a week. I have a note of things I got to do, and I just check them off the list. I don't know.
Do you use Sexy Lexi at all? I don't want to say it.
No. Sometimes for music, but nothing else.
Because I use the list feature from her, because you can create several different lists.
Yeah.
And then it transfers to my phone, and so I have it on my phone.
I just haven't taken the time to set that up because it sounds like a pretty good deal.
You just say, "Hey Lexi."
Yeah.
Add blank to my shopping list, or add blank to my to-do list. And then you can just go through and keep adding the things, and then she'll repeat them back. She's gotten to the point now where, though, apparently I talked to her too much, or I don't know, maybe just enough. I'm not sure. Where she gets done, and I'll throw a thank you at her.
Yeah.
And she'll go, "You bet."
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Really?
Or we'll get done, I'll say thank you, and she'll say, "I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon."
Oh, well, thank you, Lexi.
"I hope you're having a wonderful weekend." Yeah.
Do you
respond?
She
changes it up. Well, usually with a weird look. That's about it. Like, that was a new one.
Right.
But the more you talk to her, the more she
gets to know you.
Interaction, I think. I don't know. This AI stuff.
I know. And we have we have a Sonos speaker and we have Sexy Lexi. So it's sometimes I get confused and it's like, Alexa, stop. And Beth's like, it's not Alexa, it's the Sonos. Well, then Sonos, stop. It doesn't work that way.
All of you stop.
Just stop.
Now, do you have more than one Dot? Or
yes,
otherwise, more than one Lexi?
Mm-hmm. A big one and then 2 little ones.
So have you ever done something and do it everywhere?
Yes, it's awesome. It's pretty slick. I do like that.
I do too. I do too. All right, let's see here. What else was on my list of things?
Okay. So this thing, I don't know if it was on Twitter or it was on Facebook that you shared the other day. That picture of the Kentucky Fried Chicken logo.
Oh, Colonel Sanders.
So you shared something that has that this logo KFC has been around for how many decades, and I've never noticed this as part of that Colonel Sanders picture of the logo, and I can't unsee it. I can't look at it differently now.
I can't go back.
No,
his bow tie looks like his body. It looks like his arms and his legs, like a little stick man.
How weird is that?
And once you notice that, once you see that, that's it. I can't go back to being a bow tie. There is no more bow tie. There's another one that I had. Oh, it was a while back. I'll have to see if I can hunt it down and retweet it or repost it. It's a picture of a bunch of plates, and they're like compartmentalized plates like you use maybe for school lunches or whatever, round ones, square ones, all this. And when you first look at them, they all look like they're upside down until you see the one that isn't. And then they're all right side up.
Why? That's so weird. That's so weird. And the picture of like the mountains, like tell me what you see. And you're like, I see mountains. Like, no, you don't. You see a silhouette of a goat. You're like, oh my God, yes I do. And then you don't see the mountains again.
The mountains are gone. Yeah. There's another one. Is it the old woman and the young girl?
Yeah.
That's on opposite
it's crazy.
sides. And it's hard once you see the other side. You start seeing one, but once you see the other, it's done. I can't go back.
It's kind of like in an argument with your wife or your husband. Once they see your side, they never see their side again. Once they see the right side.
I don't think it's at all like that.
It's exactly like that.
Speaking of posts, too, by the way, Ed's still doing really well.
Yeah, Ed's going. Is he the most viral thing you've ever posted?
I don't know. Viral. Made it across the county. That's about it, I'm going to say. But it's a little over.
Legit.
I don't even know how many shares it has. I really don't. It's got like 400.
After a while, when you go viral, you just forget it. Yeah,
it's the little things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ed's still doing really well, and people still chiming in. Somebody actually wrote though that they used to work at that store.
Yeah.
Which is the Bakers at 156th and Dodge, and they were there for 8 years. I think it was. She said, or 8 years ago. I don't know. Either way, he was there every year.
That's awesome.
So I don't know how long he's been doing this.
Probably for decades.
Well, maybe for decades, at least one.
Yeah.
Maybe. But anyway, if anybody knows more about Ed, I'd love to hear more about it. I tell you I had the weirdest dream. And it's been a few nights, and I hate this. This is the thing I hate about dreams, why they fade.
I don't get it.
And even when you talk about them with somebody, and I still lose detail, but I had the weirdest dream where I thought I was awake in the dream.
Yeah.
I was in bed in the dream, which is where I was. But I dreamt that a screw fell from my ceiling fan and that there was only one holding it up there and it was going to fall on me.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I have no idea.
What is that?
Totally out of context. I don't know. It's obviously this was one of those dreams that has, it's giving me some kind of a sign of something. You know how dreams, they're all supposed to be representative. I don't know why. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Just tell me what it is you're wanting to tell me instead of just showing me pictures of things.
You're getting screwed somewhere?
No, right? I mean, I
don't know what else that would be.
It's not a good thing all the way around. But it always drives me crazy with dreams. It's always representative. It's not a direct message. Like you don't just have somebody just going, okay, so here's what's going on.
Right.
This is what you need to do to solve the problem.
I would love a brain briefing every night. Like they sit you down and in your brain while you're asleep. Because our brains know us. They know that we're dense and we don't get anything. So you have to really talk to us like we're 3.
On top of it, you don't always remember them. But then I wonder if subconsciously you do remember them. It's just not conscious. You do remember them and that's how you work things out. I'm not sure. Maybe we're not supposed to remember them. Maybe that's the flaw.
Maybe. I don't know. It's all scary.
Not at all sure. But anyway, yeah, it frightened me to death. Because then when I finally realized that I was sleeping, I was like tense. So I woke up, I was exhausted. I felt like I'd been working out.
Right. Sweaty, exhausted.
Terrible, exactly.
I've been laughing in my sleep lately. And I've had that before.
That's awful.
Like about a year and a half ago, Beth said I woke up one night and just laughed. And she told me that again yesterday. The night before, how creepy.
Enough to wake her up.
Yeah, I think she was awake. I think
like
she was
in the
awake.
Morning or
No, it was like she was up till she was up a lot. Like a couple nights ago, she couldn't sleep, so she was up blasting tunes or whatever on Facebook. And yeah, she said I just started laughing, like a creepy, weird. I'm like, that's really creepy.
See, the first thing I think is that somebody was on their phone. You know what I mean? And you walk in there and see them sound asleep.
That's nutty.
Do you talk in your sleep?
She says I do sometimes. I don't know what. I don't know. I put my hand on my testicles apparently when I sleep. That is we had those pictures still on my Instagram page of me sleeping.
Not those pictures.
No, the pictures of me with my hand down my pants, sleeping. She was nice enough to take a picture of that. So nice.
That's just kind of like your whoopee.
My fuzzy.
Like for
a fuzz on the corner of it. What are you doing? Just fuzzing on my whoopee. Leave me alone. Give me 4 more minutes. Leave me alone. Psst, go on, get. Fuzzing on my whoopee.
Most kids have some kind of like a toy.
Well.
Did you have a toy when you were a little kid?
Probably the same thing. Where do you think I learned it? Just leave Pat alone.
But shouldn't we? No, he's sleeping.
No, he
finally went to sleep. No, just leave him. Just leave him alone. Oh my God. And then let's see. We gotta go pop culture alert. 2 things. Oh my God. I don't know which one to do. I'll do this one first. No, yeah, I'll do this one first. So Diddy is in the news. Mm-hmm. We haven't done a Diddy story. No, I don't think in any of our episodes. Have we ever done a Diddy story?
I don't remember for sure.
He apparently is dating Steve Harvey's daughter.
Whoa, there's a little bit of an age difference there, right?
He's 49, she's 22. That's not even the issue, really.
Speaking of a whoopee,
this makes this just completely makes that a non-starter, or not non-starter, but just not even a problem, non-event. Yeah. She's the ex-girlfriend of his son.
That's so messed up. That's so messed up. There's blame to go all around everybody, but for that girl,
he's 25, she's 22,
and the poor son.
And then they broke up, but now there are several pictures that have been showing up, and we need to ask Dax about this.
Okay.
That Diddy there are several pictures in kind of matching outfits.
Gross.
That they've shown up in pictures. But remember, Steve hasn't exactly set the best example himself.
Right. Well, yeah.
But this was many years ago. He's been married to Marjorie for 12 years. So she would have been a little girl at that time. Right. But he was actually married to somebody else when he started dating Marjorie. But they've been together now 12 years. He's actually had three wives. Marjorie, and then he was married to Mary for 10 years, and then he was married to Marcia for 14. Tell me he doesn't yell out somebody's name that isn't right.
Of course he does. Of course he does. Of course he does. But the father-son connection is just disgusting. That's gross. It is gross.
It is.
I'm sorry, it's gross.
I can't. And I saw the pictures. But I'm going to leave you on a happy note.
Okay.
On a happy note. It starts political, but don't worry. We'll get away from it. Ilhan Omar. Some people love her, some people hate her. Whatever. She's from Minnesota representative. Guess who's looking to take her on in the next election?
Jesse Ventura again.
Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell?
My Pillow.
Oh, My Pillow? He's got enough money to do it.
Right? He does. And he is like Mr. All-American, Mr. All-Patriot, built his own business. My Pillow guy.
Wow. I'm like, wow, Chuck Liddell? No, that's a fighter. Wow, that could be a very interesting election to watch.
I will watch
awesome.
the debate.
Yeah, the Minnesota debate for the House of Representatives. We'll watch. That's awesome.
We'll get it on the calendar. Okay.
So the post of Ed is still pinned on our Facebook page. You can check that out. Yeah. It's Pat and JT, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and text or voicemail 402-403-9478.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Parkville Media Production.